Good evening, everybody. We've got Team No Bane, No Game in the booth for this semi-final race in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Explorers of Yanakurm Desert Summer Co-op Tournament race. On one side, we've got FFR Not Tactics, which is Luffy DV and Shanigan. They won the first race of this particular matchup. And on the other side, we've got Team Copium, which is Burt Reynolds and Woo Bear. I am DM Stewart 1981. Alongside me in the booth is Rich Bork. Rich, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing well. So for those who are not aware, Luffy DV was part of the team that won co-op tournament last year with Shun Bobby. And then Burt Reynolds is a longtime runner, and he took Woo Bear under his wing this year, and Woo Bear was a duckling and just trounced people in a lot of different races in the Duckling Derby. So we've got some very, very experienced runners tonight, and we've got these awesome co-op flags. So let's talk about it. You can see that they're choosing their party right now, and they're getting ready. Forced Red Mage. What do you think about a Forced Red Mage in these flags?
I think a Forced Red Mage can be interesting, but it's very dependent on the blessings, on the class blessings, which in this case is the Red Mage gets an extra 200 gold points, their gold pieces, and 40 agility, which is kind of a nothing burger.
Yeah. I mean, it is a Forced Red Mage. So the reason some people have a love-hate relationship with the Red Mage is, in these flags in particular, that we have entrance and floor shuffle. So with the exception of Canaria itself, everything is randomized, including all of the floors. It also means that an entrance can have a town, but they might not be anywhere. Great. So you can have your early towns late. You can have your late towns early. And the Red Mage can be okay when you have those early towns early, like Provoca and Elfland, so that you can use some white and black magic, but it could end up being pretty bad. You never know.
Provoca especially because of the Red Mage spell slots.
Sure.
The learnable spell slots.
Yeah, Red Mage can learn everything for white, black, and level 2 magic and Provoca. So not only do we have the entrance and floor shuffle, but we have the shard hunt going on, and each runner needs 32 shards instead of needing 4 orbs. There are 32 boxes in the throughout the world, and that means that they each have a shard, and then the fiends will also have shards behind them as well. It looks like we are underway.
We are off. Corneria Castle is Titan's East.
Yikes.
Classic gamer, that would be Danny rolled the seed.
And speaking of yikes, let's talk about this magic. All right, so level 1 white mages magic. Cure 2, A Fire, pure and soft. Black is stun, quad X, quake, and lock 2. So not fun.
That is a dumpster fire worth of magic.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the other class blessings. We've got Thief Red Black from both of our Not Tactics runners. It looks like Fighter Red Black from both of our Copium runners. So our Fighter blessings, we get plus 20 agility and plus 20 MDef. Thief, we get Thor Master, which allows him to use the Thor hammer, and I forget exactly the bonus that it gives him.
So it gives extra attack power, but doesn't when using the Thor hammer. But the other blessing
is fighter swords.
Right. So, and it looks like they started with a giant sword plus 4?
4 or 5.
Yeah, so the giant sword is equipable by either the thief or the fighter right out of the gate.
So it looks like Chanigan and Woobear are taking my route, and Luffy and Burt Reynolds are taking your route.
Yeah, so what's great about these, because it's entered in floor shuffle and because key items are shared, dividing and conquering is the name of the game here. So when we talk about routes, they're going to want to go in separate directions and cover as much area as possible. So Luffy and Bert went north, going to Matoya's Cave, which is
Waterfall.
And then they'll probably end up heading over to Provoca as well. And Chanigan and Woobear went to the left, going to Temple of Fiends, and will probably be going over to Dwarves and having fun over that way as well.
Oh, one of these, either the zombie or the ghoul, has glare, has instant death.
Yeah.
And stone poison.
Oh, stone poison.
Stone poison. Oh, that's just disgusting.
So a little bit more about these flags. The Red Mage was forced. There are no black belts available in these flags unless you get it as your forced character. You can only start with 3. You have to start with a nun. The nun does gain experience, though. So nuns are going to gain XP that is on, so that when you do pick up another character, you're going to be able to have it at basically at the same level as the rest of your party. In order to get another warrior in your party, though, you need to defeat a fiend.
Yes. There is one thing. The Black Mage does get an extra 50% experience, as well as improved crit when he is wielding the Cat Claw. And yes, Temple of Fiends has been flipped.
Yeah, so when Temple of Fiends...
That was a vanilla Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, Temple of Fiends was at Temple of Fiends. When the real easy way to see if Temple of Fiends is flipped or not is when you go into Garland's room. If the pillars are immediately right next to him, that's regular.
We have
Already?
a Massa and a Katana +3 in Waterfall.
Waterfall? Oh, wow. Okay. Looks like this is going to be fun for everybody.
And we've got Ordeals, looks like a Dwarf Cave.
Dwarf Cave.
And there's also an Opal Armor +4, which is a pretty nice find since you have the tail immediately.
Right. Another thing that is going to be interesting to see is are these routes going to continue to stay roughly the same? Is there going to be any divergence? Are the teams going to be doubling up on certain dungeons? Some of the dungeons can get pretty deep, and if that is the case, then the divide and conquer mentality is not going to be appropriate. You're going to want to all hands on deck on certain things.
Some of these dungeons can get pretty deep, especially when you have things like Sea Split into Marsh Split.
Yes.
Which was what every practice seed we did?
Pretty much. Yeah. Now, Bert just sold his katana.
Tells me he is not going to go for a thief.
Probably not. Probably not. So he's getting some camping gear and gearing up to make a run further into the game. Masa is definitely nice. The Masamune is the strongest weapon in the game. You'll see that there's pluses and minuses next to the weapons and the armor, but the Masamune is not affected by that. So, but just like in, say, Dungeons and Dragons or whatnot, where if an item has a plus next to it, it's stronger than its vanilla version. If it has a minus next to it, it's weaker than its vanilla version. So.
There are no minuses on these flags. Everything other than the Massa is, I believe, +2 to +5.
Which is cool. It really makes it so that a fighter is something that a lot of people are going to want to take because of having access to so many different weapons.
And the creeps have Blaze, which is not something you want to see.
Definitely not. They're an early enemy, and they're something you're going to see often. You're going to see them in the Earth Cave as well.
And you're going to see them in packs.
Yes. So when it comes to our key items, though, all right. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay,
There are
and Luffy
loops.
is skipping past that. We have a Lit 3 bonk.
Lit 3 bomb. Oh, well, that's better than any of the magic that we already have.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that doesn't take much.
Right.
Level 1 magic was a dumpster fire.
All right. There are 5 loose items throughout the world. The incentive item, there's a guaranteed incentive item in the Ice Cave. There's a guaranteed incentive item in Ordeals. And then all of the main NPCs and Fetch Quest NPCs have items as well, as long as you do the appropriate turn-in and whatnot. So,
and there's a loose chime.
there we go. So one of the flags that is available that isn't on right now.
And that's an incentive ship.
Ship and chime. We lost Luffy's stream. I'm sure he'll be back on in just a moment. One of the cool flags that is not on, that has been on in other races, is the incentive items, whether or not they can be in an incentive dungeon.
Loose items in incentive dungeon.
Right. So that flag is not on. It is a pretty cool flag. So there have definitely been races before where 2 or 3 or 4 of the loose items appear in one dungeon.
We've got an on-rack at Marsh Cave. But we do not have an Oxyale yet.
We don't have an Oxyale yet. Are we going to check the magic here? I don't think Shanigan's going to even bother looking.
No. Level 7 magic, you really... Well, with an extra 50% experience, you might get enough charges of it to be worth at least looking. There's a Titan's West at Elfland. That's the other side of the wormhole. And we've got a Provoca. Or not Provoca, Melmond. That's got an Invis 2, a Lit 3, there's a Fast, and a Brack.
Okay, so with the Lit 3 item, plus getting some Lit 3s for the mages, that means we can start plowing through some stuff. Fast is obviously something that we want.
Looks like we also had an early Canal, too. Because Shanigan is already sailing up to Monrak Continent. And yes, Fast appears to be promotion locked.
Right. Which is fine. You're going to want to promote anyway.
We get a free tail.
Yeah, we have a free tail. We want to promote. All right, so Shanigan is out of the inner sea. He is going through, and it looks like he is.
There's a C split. There's a C split at Melmond.
And okay, so Shanigan is near. He's going to just go up to the Vanilla Mirage Tower, apparently, because he is going up to the desert. He's going up to the desert, and maybe he's going to check for a grind there.
That wouldn't be a bad thing to check. Okay, Titan's East has... That's one of the empty sea floors.
Yikes.
And Cube Lock at Earth Cave.
Okay. And then Mirage has... Oh, Lich's Closet. Gotta love that.
Yeah, that's a nice find. That's 8 chests you can check for loose and shards. An Ice +3 sword, which would be great, but we already have a Massa and a Katana.
Right. And Woobear.
Also in... Woobear's found a Lich.
Yeah, let's see how this Lich goes.
Woobear has found a speed bump, and that appears to be a thief. That appears to be a thief behind it.
All right, so Lich took out the Red Mage quake action coming from the Black Mage. We'll see what we can do. The second one, both the first and second were ineffective. Lich hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, Lich is hitting pretty hard. The fighter is using the most reliable spell in the game, which is Stab.
Yep. And, okay, Woobear went... Oh, did not take... All right. Did not take the warrior that was behind Lich, so... All right.
Okay, that was...
Gonna keep on going.
But that is 2 shards.
Yep.
Is 2 shards for him.
Yeah. So 2 shards for lighting the altar behind Lich and Carry, 4 shards for lighting the altar behind Kraken and Tiamat, and then there's 32 loose. You have to get 32 total. Doesn't matter how you get them. So.
One other thing to note is that we have a save. We have save on game over. Is there?
Save on game over is great in these flags.
Woobear is going to look at that level 7 magic, and it looks like we may have
a little bit of a hiccup.
We may have had a hiccup. We may have had a freeze.
And we'll get back here just as soon as we can. So, 5 loose items. They're still looking for them.
Yeah, we found one of them. Now, one thing I will note: that save on game over. That was one of the things that I never got used to in these flags. Was save on game over. I'm so used to not using. I'm so used to not playing with it.
Yeah, save on game over has been affectionately called the death warp by a lot of players. You get to the end of a dungeon that's really, really deep, and it's like a quest to turn in, or it's just a Cardia treasure or something along those lines. So it ends up being a quote unquote dead end, or something that you can't do, or even if it is something that you can do for a quest turn in.
Okay, so it looks like we've hit
all the way out.
It looks like we've hit the fun spot where the Twitch API has crashed and I have to restart everything.
Okay, so we're not doing anything right now.
Not on my end. I'm working on it. Just hoping it comes back. Sometimes this goes down for a few minutes and we just have to wait.
Okay, nope, that's fine.
So we've got some technical difficulties on the restream end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm working on it.
Technical difficulties are the worst kind of difficulties.
Unfortunately, this just is what happens when we're funneling through Twitch's API.
Sure.
Although technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Yeah, you are correct. They're still racing. They're still running.
Yeah.
We'll catch up to them as soon as we can.
We will. It just takes a couple minutes for Twitch to come back around. Like, their streams are fine. We just have the problem that ours isn't.
That's okay.
But as soon as we get everything going, there we go. Okay, let's see. There it is. Okay, I'll start getting people back in.
Okie doke. And looks like we are back. All right. Ooh. Bear with us, folks. Bear with us, folks. We are getting there. So Luffy is in the ice loop. We just don't know where that is. We'll find that out soon enough. Rune Sword +4, AI Staff. He skipped the...
And TNT.
Yep, TNT. All right. So he wanted to get the item first. He might try for the... he might try for the shard with the monster in a box on the second way through.
Right. And
It's
that's
tough.
a good strategy.
Yeah, it's tough because the monsters in boxes are localized to the areas in which they appear. So he's going to fight some of these ice cave enemies in the monster in a box because he's in ice cave. So we'll have to see what he does. Yep, and that's exactly the strategy that he did. He went through, skipped the monsters in boxes for the shards until after he got the item.
And Burt Reynolds has found a carry.
And he's got his black mage and his fighter alive. His red mage is a turkey, just sitting there roasted on the side of the. Yeah, and all right. Yeah, Carrie is no fun to play with.
Yeah.
She cast rub. She hit real hard and then she cast rub. All right.
And that is in Elfland, which was C-split.
Okay. All right, so they have the key. Oh, loose floater in Temple of Fiends. Wow.
Ooh.
All right. So we didn't see where they got the key, but the fact that Chanigan came back and then went into the left-hand side means that because it was reversed Temple of Fiends, that these are the locked chests. So loose floater. All right. So
that could be bad.
That could be bad. It could be good.
Well, that could be bad for Team Copium.
Yes.
Because those are not chests that you necessarily think of when you get the key.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's such low density.
It's different when you have a black belt seed and you have when you have trap tiles on. That's one thing that we have turned off are the trap tiles because of the fact that we have all of the monsters and boxes protecting the shards. So when you have the trap tile, you know that there's a guaranteed enemy there. And when you have a black belt, obviously you're going to want to check where all those enemies could be. There are no black belts, there are no trap tiles, so there isn't a huge reason to go back to Temple of Fiends. So this could end up being the Galaxy Brain play for Luffy and Chanigan, and that could end up being the turning point in the game and the match.
Because they are up 1-0 in this match.
Right. So we'll have to see. It was a bold strategy. We'll see how it works out for them. But they do still have to get that canoe. They don't have access to the Ryukan Desert in these flags. That is a flag that can be turned on, but it is not.
That's correct. That is, and let's see, Chanigan's heading into.
He's doing some.
He's burning a couple encounters, and that is a Sky 1. Sky provides.
And he's skipping and going into Marsh top. Okay, and he's just looking for shards.
Shards, which tells me they may have found all 5 loose items.
That would be pretty impressive at 20 minutes in if they don't need any. Excuse me, if they don't need any more loose items. 5 loose is a lot of loose.
Yeah, 5 is a lot of loose items.
But they could also be banking on the fact that, there's an incentivized ribbon, there is power staff, which becomes the ruse staff.
Yeah, which is a ruse stick.
And the Vorpal. So, and Luffy is at dwarves.
Empty sea becomes dwarf cave, and Luffy doing the correct thing in keeping Hooray Dwarf alive.
I disagree with you there. I think the people want to see the Hooray Dwarf meet a fate. Lazy dwarves, though.
Lazy dwarves.
Here we go.
Gotta love lazy dwarves, especially in Florin Entrance.
Yes,
We have
don't ever have to come back here.
Saber bonk and a ribbon.
And it's not the incentivized ribbon. There was no jingle.
Right. It's not the incentive ribbon.
So when we talk about that, because ribbon is incentivized, every incentive item gives a jingle, so there's going to be a pause.
There's that canoe. Matoya has the canoe in Onrak Dungeon.
Okay, so Luffy just picked up the crystal, so that
Tammy
means
and I guess already had it.
yeah, they must have gone here while we were blacked out, so that's fine. All right, Burt Reynolds making his way through the ice loop. He is just about to leave. Getting out of this place. Luffy missing a step there.
Is at Melmond.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
what do you mean missing a step?
So the encounter table advances whenever you take a step. There are some free spaces where the encounter table does not advance. That includes in front of every single door, the bottom of every single door, and damage tiles in dungeons and things like that. So the encounter table is like a deck of cards. There are 256 cards in the deck, and an encounter can happen every once in a while. And
there's a loot.
And then we don't flip over a card to see a loot and a cube.
And a cube.
Nice. So we don't.
We did find that cube lock earlier.
Yeah. So we don't flip over a card in the deck if we take one of those free steps. So when you walk in front of the bottom of a door, if you walk along the bottom of a doorway, those are free steps with some exceptions. So that means that you're not going to advance the encounter table, and the chances of you getting an encounter in those places are 0.
And the bottle from Sarda, which is at, I believe, Ice Cave.
Mm-hmm. So in a race situation, you want to take as few unnecessary encounters as possible. Because encounters if you are able to run away from the encounter, it's still going to take you, a good 15, 20 seconds to get out of the encounter. So if you can save 15 seconds, 5, 10 times throughout a match, that adds up. And the fairy has the rod. All right, so Titan's west is Gaia. So much action going on. Blue Bear here taking on the zombie dragons and whiz vamps.
Yes, that was the Monster in a Box.
Yep.
They're on Sky 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say again, Sky provides.
It was reversed, and then now we have our mermaids. All right, so there are varying opinions where it comes to the Hurry Dwarf, and then there is varying opinions when it comes to talking to the one mermaid who talks about turning into Bubbles. Her name has been affectionately called Bubbles, and you can make her disappear as well.
I am a save Hooray Dwarf, but carbonate Bubbles.
Sure. I don't understand the logic in saving one and getting rid of the other.
Because
Luffy
the
found Provoca,
and the dwarf cheers. The dwarf is cheering for you.
Sure.
Ruse Stick in Crescent Lake, which is Waterfall.
Okay. All right, Lobster's doing lobster things and taking out 2/3 of Blue Bear's team.
Well, yeah, lobsters do that.
Yeah. So he's opting not to take the monsters and boxes here just yet. Gonna grab some of these chests first, see what they've got, and then he might just end up taking an intentional wipe and coming back.
Because I'm not sure how deep this is, and that not sure where that is either. We've got an Elfland Castle on Chanigan's screen. That gives you a crown, which means they're going to be looking for Astos. And then that is an Agama floor in Cardia Grass.
Wow, Luffy clearing out the Cardia Isles now. This is pretty good. That's Kraken.
There's another ribbon.
All right, the Cardia Swamp is immediately Kraken. And Cardia Forest
is immediately Tia. Or Cardia Swamp, or I'm sorry, that was Cardia Forest. Cardia Forest is immediately Tia.
All right, well, they know how to get 8 shards anyway.
So it looks like Cardia is providing too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Woobear went back in to clean up the mermaids after taking a wipe, which smart thing to do, but he is going to probably take a death warp here too. There we go. All right, and that was Crescent Lake. Okay. Oh, he's going to try again, maybe.
He's going to check the four green
check those
chests.
boxes. Yeah. This is flipped, so he's going to be checking the other ones on the far side.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. And there is an Elfland.
So Luffy finding all the towns.
Yeah, someone finds. That's always how it works. Someone finds all the towns, and someone finds not all the shards.
So Luffy was in Provoca. Level 2 magic was White had Cure 4, Cure 3, Exfer, and Harm 2. Black had Lit 2, Ice 2, Sleep, and Dark. And
Luffy's in Elfland. We're getting Harm 4 and Heal 2 are the relevant ones for White. And Nuke. I mean, there's other stuff, but Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, Zap and Fire 3, whatever, at level 3. But yeah, Nuke's a good one.
And then Life at level 4, but that is not Red Mage learnable.
No, unfortunately not. But
Bane and Ice 3 and Fire 2 at Black, at level 4 Black.
It seems all right.
That seems not bad.
And Burt Reynolds is over in Elfland also, reaping the rewards of the level 3 and level 4 magic that are there.
Looks like
Bear fighting some rock goals
somewhere.
Okay. The 4 green chests, Woobear had a random bonk, a gauntlet of some sort, and then a bunch of gold. So nothing going on there. Woobear taking the canoe, heading up the stream, and we'll see if he's going up the stream without a paddle into Volcano. Doing some encounter manipulation.
Yeah, he's going to burn off 2 encounters, and that's a Sky Maze with controlling Warmech.
Yeah, one of the cool flags is that
there
was the Warmech just chilling out in the Sky Maze. I'm looking forward to one of the new flags when it comes out of beta, where Warmech can be required, it can be patrolling, and it can be unleashed all at the same time.
Oh.
So that was what we considered. It's called the patrolling Warmech. A required Warmech would be him sitting right in front of Tia. And then unleashed means it can be in the encounter zone, in any zone. It does not matter which, in the seventh encounter. So, fun
FFR
times.
Not Tactics won race number 1.
Yes, they did.
So, if you are enjoying Final Fantasy Randomizer, you should join our Discord. And there are races every day of varying flags, of varying flag sets. We also, if you're enjoying this race, you should give our runners a follow. And I will.
All right,
Also,
Blue Bear's taking on the vampire, and we're going to see what is hidden behind that rod lock here pretty soon. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. That was a Pro Ring +4.
Seems okay.
I don't know that we'll see what's behind the rod lock. I don't know that they've got a rod.
Sorry,
like
it's lit up on their screen. So,
but Blue Bear is not heading to it. Is not taking it.
All right, so they must not have it. So they haven't found the rod yet. So we're not going to find out what is hiding in there. Luffy is in Mirage 2 in what is called the less than greater than room. Because look, the the boxes are in the shape of a less than sign and a greater than sign. And he just checked a handful of them, and then he's heading on out because he doesn't need any more loose.
And that goes into Earth 1. And Luffy is just looking for shards at this point, it would appear.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he's got loose, he's got loot, he's got key, which means he's technically in shards and go mode.
Mm-hmm.
If he's comfortable with his gear. And that's an Aegis shield, and you're always going to want to get that.
Nothing wrong with that if you have a fighter.
Well, yeah, if you have a fighter, you're always going to want to get that.
Yeah. Protection from stone and poison. But only once you're promoted.
Woobear is making that try at the War Mech, although this may simply be a death warp.
It could be a death warp. Now, one thing is that, was it Woobear? It may have been Woobear who, in a pickup race, baned a War Mech in a random pickup race. So he was just using Quake right there, which has a 3 in 256 chance of hitting, which is a very, very slim margin. So, but Death Warp was probably quicker.
So Shanigan finds Ice Square into Bahamut Hall, into that is Sharknado.
Woobear took a wrong turn in the stream, but he is still headed back to Ice Cave now.
And we find a Brack stick on Sharknado.
Brack is not a bad thing to have when you have to deal with either Tiamat or Kraken.
A ruse? Is that a ruse hammer?
I believe that is a ruse hammer.
So we get 2 ruse items in this seed. Because we have a guaranteed ruse stick, and Luffy finds promotion. Nice.
As he does that, Woobear finds Sarda hiding out in the ice cave, and he gets his bottle. So Team Copium has the bottle. So.
And yeah, FFR Not Tactics is in Shards and Go mode. Copium, I guess, has not found Corneria Castle because we remember we had the French vanilla loot from the king.
Right. And they have not gone back to Temple of Fiends, so they have not
Right.
found that floater. So FFR, not tactics, is leaps and bounds ahead right now.
Yes, agreed. And temper at level 6. Disappointing. And Copium and Woobear has found Lupaland. There's your
Lupaland.
incentive ribbon. So we have seen all 3 ribbons.
Lefane, affectionately referred to as Lupaland, because if you come here without translating the slab, all of the Lefanians tell you Lupa.
And that was at Provoca.
Yeah, FFR, not tactics. For the beginning of this seed, having some garbage magic, they've got the afterburners on, and that floater it's been the difference. It really has been.
And now that they have promoted, now that Luffy's promoted, Luffy is going after that fast.
Can't say I blame him.
Yeah, I don't either.
Fast doubles the number of hits in combat. Seems okay. Luffy stopping by Canaria to bring back his party members. Okay, so Team Copium, Woobear is in Temple of Fiends again, so all he has to do is go ahead to the upper left-hand room and he will get that floater.
Yes. And Burt Reynolds is finding that that non-incentive ribbon and that saber bonk in Dwarf Cave.
All right, there we go. Channigan is promoting. Luffy's stream has frozen up, so we'll bring that back to you and get that resynced as soon as we can. Yeah, Team Copium is going to be extremely happy to find the floater as soon as Woobear gets it up there. And they're also going to be a little bit disappointed because once they find out that FFR, not tactics, got it 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, that they've been in the air for a while.
But these are 2 strong runners, so they might be behind now. And Temple of Fiends Revisited, Topher, is the great equalizer. So they have plenty of time left to come back in this race, get those items, and get their shards, and still possibly win this race, tie up the match at 1-1, and see what happens from there. You cannot count them out.
No, nope. I will never make the mistake of counting Woobear and Burt Reynolds out.
Not at all. So it looks like Luffy's in the 20s-ish for the 3 light warriors that he has alive.
Yeah, shard counts are going to be a big deal now.
Mm-hmm.
Burt has 8. Where was Canaria Castle? There it is. It's at Sarda. Burt's going to pick up that loot.
Mm-hmm. The hurdy-gurdy. Multi-instrumental Sarah is on. So it is a hurdy-gurdy. One of those fun % flags that we like. Different instruments can be instead of the loot, and then different things that the Titan wants to eat.
Fire 3 helmet.
Okay, so Fire 3 helmet with the Lit 3 item, some free magic. some Masamune. Yeah, this is got some fun stuff going on. So a lot of people will give slack to Danny for rolling some seeds, and when you roll a seed and in its entrance and floor shuffle, and the magic includes stun, quad X, quake, and lock as your black magic, you kind of expect it to be a dumpster fire, but this has actually been not terrible.
Yeah, this has been surprisingly less of a dumpster fire. Saber at level 7 in on rank.
Luffy found the dragon armor in the Cardia treasure that was at the end of this long dungeon here. So dragon armor +2 can only be equipped by the knight, which is the promoted fighter, of course, and gives resistance to fire, lightning, and ice. Nothing wrong with that.
You effectively have, if you get a pro ring, Aegis shield, and pro ring, Aegis shield, and dragon armor, that is more or less the what we call poor man's ribbon.
Right.
Rod is the bottle turn in.
Okay, so Luffy's going to go in and see what he can do about Kraken, and we'll see what's.
I will be back in a moment.
Sure.
I'll be back in a moment. Need to take care of the dog.
Sure. So when a fighter has the quote unquote poor man's ribbon with the Aegis shield, the dragon armor, and a pro ring, they just don't have protection from time. So that means that Zap is a very effective spell, and it can be on one of the fiends in the fiend refights. So that can be scary, but it's not terrible if you don't have ribbons. Now, we found a lot of ribbons in this seed, so being able to equip everything does not make things all that bad. Burt Reynolds is grabbing some shards and following in the footsteps of what Luffy just did. And Woobear heading over to the Vanilla Ordeals location and getting Elflint. So, Woobear will get the level 3 and 4 spells. And everybody's racing, everybody's trying to get these shards, get into Temple of Fiends, and finish this game as soon as possible. Channigan going in and going to go take out Kraken as well. The fight didn't seem too bad for Luffy, and I'm going to assume that Channigan isn't going to have too much of a problem either. Luffy dealing with some zombies there. On the way down to the Videl Lafane location, which is Elflint Castle. Snagging the next ribbon. Well, Channigan taking on the first Kraken.
So Forsaken Sadness in chat asks about the delay for Burt and Woobear getting the floater. It's because it was in a place that you don't often check, which is the Temple of Fiends chests. Temple of Fiends locked chests.
Temple of Fiends locked chests. So, yeah. Luffy and Channigan, FFR, not Tactics, had it 15 minutes earlier than Team Copium, Woobear, and Burt Reynolds. So, they cleared out their 5 loose items super fast, like 20 minutes in. So they've just been looking for shards, and they've been just afterburners blazing, just going through this and just trying to take down everything as soon as they can so that they can get into Temple of Fiends and they can end it. They're up 1-0. So if they win this, it's done. Burt Reynolds is going to take on Kraken.
I did not see what Light Warrior Kraken has behind.
All right, well, we're going to see
That
it
looks
right
like a
there. It's
red
the Red
mage.
Mage. Yeah. All right,
Red
Luffy
Mage is
checking.
kind of a nothing burger.
Yeah. Luffy checking the level 7 magic here in on-rack, level 7 exit. That's the only notable thing. Exit, Invis 1, Rub, and Blind. And Matoya hiding. There, that's
Matoya
where the
had a
key
loose
was.
key.
Loose key for Matoya behind the Oxyale.
And it looks like Luffy did take that Red Mage.
Yeah, I don't think that that's a terrible idea, because that means that you just have more new casters.
Well, yeah, that gives you 3 nuke casters.
Right. 3 new casters and a ninja. That should be the name of a movie. Or maybe 3 new casters and a ninja will be one of the teams for the Fall League, the 4-person team.
Well,
events.
actually, now that I think about it, with nuke at level 2, that's 4 nuke casters.
Oh, yeah, the ninja can get nuke as well.
Although only one, although the ninja only gets 4 charges of it.
Oh, right. So after promotion, the ninja can learn black magic spells 1 through 4. All of the spells 1 through 4 for black magic will get up to 4 charges. Get a charge every time you level up to an odd level after promotion. So if Luffy was level 20 when getting promoted, that would mean levels 21, 23, 25, and 27 would get a spell charge on all 4 levels for that ninja.
They may only have FFR not tactics may only have gotten 4 of the loose items. They may have not bothered continued looking for the ruby.
For the ruby,
because
that
we
makes
saw
sense.
both sides of
Of the Titan tunnel. Yeah,
the Titan wormhole.
and if they're looking, I mean, if they had, say, 3 loose items and the ruby was still loose, then it's possible that a loose item was hiding in the Titan's trove there. But this makes sense. This definitely makes sense. Now, process of elimination, because we missed some things and whatnot. So they know that the ruby's loose. They know that there can't be anything fun there. So.
And Lich had a fighter, not a thief, behind.
Ah, okay.
Behind, so we get 3 ribbons. We have 3 ribbons and a poor man's ribbon.
Seems okay.
That seems like a pretty good. That seems pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot of magic that you can defend with all that equipment. So
and
that's
fighter already had already had plus MDef.
Right. Yeah, plus 20 agility and plus 20 magic defense on that fighter. So seems okay, especially when they come pre-promoted.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Where you can already put all that good gear on them.
Right. And another nice thing too is it's as if they had leveled up as so because you've already promoted, it's as if they had leveled up from level 0 to the current level as the promoted warrior. So that means that the fighter is going to have, well, it's a knight now, is going to have charges, all 4 charges of the white magic that it can use in levels 1, 2, and 3.
And Bert looks like has about 19 shards. Luffy is somewhere around 15. Oh, it's 20. I got it wrong. Luffy's got about 20. There's a marsh bottom that we find.
Oh, it's funny is because he was in the marsh splits and went up. So he went north and ends up going south at the same time. All right, Luffy checking these boxes is not going to open anything unless it has the X and it is marked as being a monster in a box, which we know has a shard behind it. We'll probably run down and check the blocked chests as well.
Yes, I would think so. Looking for more shards.
Nothing there. So Burt Reynolds dealing with jerk birds right now, using Ice 3 from that Ice 3 stick, taking good care of them. He's at in the 30s on his black mage, so he should be good.
Yeah, keep in mind that black mage does get an extra 50% XP.
Right. So the rest of this party is probably around 26, maybe 27.
Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, the jerk birds had damage poison.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, you love seeing things that get damage poison that come in packs of 8 and 9.
Right. So Bert is a very, very seasoned runner, and even he is getting confused on this Mirage 2 reversed floor. So happens to everybody sometimes where you just get confused on these reversed floors. Sometimes with the routing, it's not the greatest. Into a reversed Earth 1.
And Woobear's got about 12 shards, and Chanigan is about the same.
Right, Chanigan going to go take on Tiamat right now. No encounters on the Bridge of Destiny. Very fortunate.
And
all right, so Bert is around 21 shards now. Yep.
Yeah, something like that. And it looks like Woobear took that red mage.
Yeah, he might be thinking take all the nukes.
Yeah, that's not a bad it's not a bad thought.
Right. The only problem is that long walk going back to Ordeals to get to Provoca to get those spells.
Bert promotes.
Not Provoca. I'm sorry, Elflin, my fault. Luffy fighting an eye. Some delicious experience right there. So Luffy's 25 across the board. For the ones that are alive. His black mage's dead. Bert coming back through.
Yeah,
Uber went to the party member store.
Yeah, it looks like Luffy has about 20 shards.
Yeah, so...
so to answer Goat's Pirate, why is Tiamat in a cave? Because floor shuffle.
Yep, entrances and floors are shuffled. So Woobear is in Ordeals, doing some shopping here now that he's promoted and getting the nukes at level 3, getting the life spell on the the red mages now that the red mage has promoted and can get slot 4 white magic at level 4. So good call there.
And Chanigan is
not wanting to come back.
Chanigan is going to make that play for Kraken, and Lobster's doing lobster things.
Lobsters are jerks. Doesn't matter the seed, they're always jerks. So, like I said before, though, Burt Reynolds and Woo Bear just being 15 minutes behind on getting the airship hasn't mattered because they're basically at the same point as Luffy and Chanigan when it comes to shards, and you can't count this team out, not at all. So
Yeah, because Luffy and Chanigan have done a lot more. They did a lot more exploration and don't have all that many more shards to show for it. They've got a bunch of fetch quests to show for it.
right. So one thing that a lot of teams will end up doing, and I'm not saying that there's a good thing or a bad thing about this strategy. Sometimes they'll explore to see how deep they can go, and then come back later on to take those monsters in boxes and get those shards. There are also sometimes when teams say, you know what, heck with it, I'm just going to take these because they're here. There's no right way to do this, and it's really going to depend on your loadout. It's going to depend on how comfortable you are with the levels that you have and the equipment that you have, the spells that you have. So you'll see that right now Luffy and Chanigan are going back through places that they've already been to, and going back to take out those monsters in boxes to get those shards. And Bert and Woo Bear did a little bit less of that because of the fact that they were walking everywhere. So that's how they ended up with having about the same number of shards.
I'm going to guess that probably the get shards as you go method is probably a little better, because I always chose the other method and it did not work out very well.
Right. But I mean, when you have Quad X Quake locked to for your level 1 magic, it isn't always the thing that you can try, especially if you have a lot of. You can't use Quake against any of the enemies in from Sea Shrine because the water enemies. It's just a 3 and 256 at that point in time. Quad X obviously is fine if a specific enemy is under 300 health, but yeah, I can understand them having to go back through.
And you can see Burt Reynolds doing 3 nuke caster strats.
Yeah, nuke, nuke, nuke. Swing, nuke, nuke, nuke. All right, so Luffy ended up getting the ruby. All right, so the ruby wasn't loose because he got it from
Astos,
from Astos.
Which hadn't gotten found yet.
Right.
Which was at the bottom of Volcano.
So that means that the loose that we didn't find then had to have been the Vorpal?
Yeah.
And they were just taking a chance because they knew that the Vorpal and the Ruby were left. So regardless, it's still a great strategy on their part.
Yes, TNT was loose. It was loose, I want to say, in Ordeals?
Yeah, I believe it was Ordeals.
No, TNT was an ice loop.
Oh, was it an ice loop?
TNT was the incentive in ice loop.
Yeah, there was a different. There was a loose incentive in.
There was a loose item.
Yeah.
There was a loose item in
Ordeals loose was the chime, and the Ordeals incentive was the ship. Our tracker Softnum had that info, so thank you for that.
Yes, definitely want to give a shout out to Dark Moon, our restreamer, and Softnum, our tracker. Massa was found. Massa was in the waterfall. It was chests in the waterfall, and Katana was also in those chests. Woo Bear downed Cardia Forest was Kraken.
So Woo Bear's around 20 shards now.
something like that. And Bert's going to take a war mech.
All right, robot chicken fighting.
I approve of this play.
Yeah.
For two reasons. One, you can get some awful good experience out of it. Two, it gives you information for Topher.
Yeah, so the 4 Fiendery fights, Chaos, and Warmech all share a pool of spells and scripts. So that means that anything you see on Warmech takes that out of the pool for the Fiendery fights. Specifically, if you're looking for something fun like Cure 4, that'd be great if the Fiends don't have it, especially Chaos. Awesome. And however many nukes that that Warmech is running also means that you're not going to see those. But Bert ended up taking the wipe and came back in and is going to do more stuff.
And nothing. And
Woobear taking the long way around on Mirage 1. I didn't realize we were playing bingo. That is one of the bingo squares that you have to take the long way around here. And gonna go take on Carrie.
Find Carrie.
Scary Carrie. Affectionately called Kelly, but she was pretty scary early on.
Yeah, but with 3 nuke casters and
Stun touch. Stun touch, but the knight came up immediately. How great is that?
Yeah, that's pretty good. So with the Massa and 3 nuke casters, although that Massa didn't do much, and one of the
okay.
So ghosts are effectively Cobra Kai.
Yeah, they are definitely so. Speaking of Cobra Kai, season 5 of Cobra Kai comes out September 9th, so you guys should watch that if you haven't already. We are not sponsored by Netflix or by Cobra Kai, but we would love to be if you guys are listening.
I need to finish season 4.
Indeed, you do.
And Luffy's going to go down and make a play at Carrie.
Seems good.
Did I see that?
That's a ninja.
Shanigan with all of his shards?
That might be the case. Shanigan has taken out all of the fiends, so is probably fairly close.
There's 2 more for Luffy. Luffy needs 6. I'm sorry, 5.
5. Oh, yeah, only 2 in that second row. In that last row, not 3. All right, so he'll only need 1 more after taking out Tia.
He's going for 4 of them right here.
Shanigan checking out this room called by many the spider floor, the spokes floor, whichever you call it. They actually skipped this on the way down and did not check for monsters in boxes and shards on the way back through. So plethora of chests here.
Yeah, I always called it spider floor.
Yeah, that makes sense. With the greater than, less than room, the appropriate term for both of those symbols is broquette. So I refer to it as the broquette's room, and nobody else does. Woobear getting lost.
8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Woobear getting lost in the sea floor. Woobear does not talk to the Hooray Dwarf at all, just ignoring the Hooray Dwarf. So you can kill the Hooray Dwarf, you can not kill the Hooray Dwarf, and you can ignore the Hooray Dwarf. Those are your 3 options.
Yeah, Woobear needs 8 shards, from what I could say. if I was seeing it correctly.
Ribbon and the Saber Gauntlet for Woo Bear. So, Chanigan is headed into Temple of Fiends. We're going to do some recon. Like that black orb.
Flanagan making a first trip into Topher at about 107.45.
We're having a hard time navigating these sea floors. Might be some nerves, might be some inexperience. Combination of the two, perhaps. Taking a lot of wrong turns.
And Luffy gets that ruse stick and is one shard from Topher.
Seems like a good position to be in when your teammate is already in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Luffy stopping in and is grabbing that temper at level 6. Not a bad play.
I would agree. That is a solid play.
Bear going over to Earth Cave and then diving in, going through the Q block, heading down this ice floor, going down to pick up some more shards. And Chanigan is about to fight Lich 2.
Chanigan pulling Lich too. Oh, that's ugly to see that our Sahag with Sahag fight be unrunnable. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's unrunnable in the base game, but
we didn't see what Lich had. It was high Lich by Lich, and Lich didn't get a turn. So Lich could have, 3 nukes and a Cure 4, and we wouldn't even know it.
Oh, did Luffy not get the shard in Toph?
Nope. Here we go.
Looks like he didn't. Oh, he might have been the one that got just destroyed out of the
I think Chanigan is the one who got destroyed and gave the information to Luffy to, skip it. So a lot less scary.
Nuclear. Carry 2 with the nuclear.
Okay. I'm sure that Chanigan is relaying that information to Luffy as well, and Luffy's taking on the speed bump that is Garland. Great thing about save on game over is that you don't have to fight Garland 12 times if you get kicked out of Temple of Fiends Revisited 12 times. Luffy going out, burning off encounters, and then heading into Temple of Fiends Revisited. So at 110.57, Luffy is also in Temple of Fiends Revisited. The Great Equalizer. We'll see how these fiends are.
I mean, carry 2 with the nuclear, and there's still Kraken 2 left to do Kraken 2 things.
Right. Woolbear taking out a pack of waters in TFC, that friendly chest that is behind a key-locked door for some reason in the vanilla game.
Did Chanigan promote?
Yes, those are promoted sprites.
With some of the sprite packs, I just don't know.
Yeah, I understand that. I have some Super Mario 2 sprites that I like to use, but my sprites don't differentiate between promoted and non-promoted. So if I'm ever on a restream, that might cause some problems for somebody just joining.
Luffy did find that Vorpal.
He did? He did open some random chests here and there that weren't out of the way at all. So
What it looks like Luffy's got is the ninja swinging a katana, the two red mages, one of them swinging the massa and the other swinging the vorpal.
Seems all right. They're probably just going to be casting nuke a lot, though, as opposed to actually swinging. Burt Reynolds taking on Undead here with the zombie dragons and the whiz vamps. He has named Edward, of course. Edward from Twilight.
And Chanigan onto Tia too.
So the Fiends have been kind.
And Woo Bear getting turned around by the not reversed floor.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's got to be some nerves at this point.
Yeah,
they've done so well up to this point. Yeah,
you've got to be wondering, looking for that dot done.
Mm-hmm. Woo Bear taking on some zombie dragons that were monsters in boxes. Throwing nukes at them, swinging, taking them down.
Using the stab spell.
Yeah.
Very
so
effective spell.
His party is 34 across the board with the Black Mage at 37. It seems okay. So he's prepared for Temple of Fiends Revisited as soon as he can get those final shards to get in there. Chanigan, meanwhile, fighting the Twilight Sparkle Pack there with the Whiz Vamp and the vampires, and has already cleared Tiamat 2. So making short work of all the fiends so far.
And Woo Bear making the long walk out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they weren't able to take Exit, which was a level 7 white spell that was not learnable by the white mage, or the red mage, excuse me. So, and Chanigan is on Chaos, if you want to go ahead and call that.
Yeah. And we've got Temper, Fast, Ruse Stick, Swing. 2 for 2 hits. Or 2
Ouch.
hits for 2 damage.
Ouch. But when Chaos hit that fighter, only did 40 damage, so.
Okay, Invis 2, let's evade cap everyone. That hurt a little bit more. 360 some damage. But all of these fiendry fights are a little bit confused because no white mage to back row.
Meanwhile, Burt Reynolds is now in Temple of Fiends Revisited at about the 116 mark.
And, the usual sort of damage. And
same Bane strats.
Really, Chanigan? You're going to try for that again? In one of the earlier races, in an earlier round, Chanigan got Bane off on Chaos and it hit.
It was glorious.
I mean, it is glorious, but really. And Blaze out of Chaos.
Part of that strategy, though, is to see if Chaos can go through his entire spell in script list before Luffy gets in there, so that Chanigan can give as much information to Luffy as possible.
Well, Luffy is also pulled Chaos.
Yeah.
So we've got both members of FFR, not Tactics, on Chaos. Burt Reynolds is in
He's on the Earth.
He's on
floor,
Earth
Lich's
floor.
floor. Yep.
And Woobear is still looking for shards.
And get your G's out in chat for Chanigan, who...
There's Chanigan about 117.30-ish. Okay, Luffy has lost a Black Mage, but is hanging tough there with Chaos. Burt Reynolds has pulled Lich 2. And that Massa is doing nothing. It's a Vorpal and Katana fight. Chaos Ink does Ink things, which is to say basically nothing. 6 for 374, 8 for 245. If you're not getting crits on that Massa, you're not doing anything to Chaos. There's 7 for 487. We're at let's use stab. We're at casting the stab spell on Chaos. Looks like Burt has completed. Maybe?
No, Burt cut stream.
Ah.
Yeah. GG's to Team FFR, not Tactics, as Luffy takes out Chaos. I believe Burt cut his stream and forfeited out of that, and Woobear is just doing a little bit of cleanup now. So, official FFR bot time of 1:17 and 16 seconds. That is Chanigan and Luffy DV, and they're joining us here in the chat. Team FFR, not Tactics, is going to the finals. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So how about that level 1 magic?
So good. We've done lots of practices and seen a lot of trash, so we'd expect nothing less from Danny rolling us the seed, which we were really hoping for. But we just found ways to get past it. We had a plan, we stuck to it, so it's okay.
I mean, it started out with being a typical Danny seed with a bunch of bad magic, but then Katana and Masa in one of the first dungeons you guys walked into, that seems to open things up a little bit.
Yeah, the waterfall was pretty annoying trying to get through with the mummies, with the dazzle and the blizzard, and I tried to do it like 3 times and then was just annoyed and walked away, and then went over to Provoca and saw a feint, realized we couldn't do anything with that. Took one last shot, and then I found that super deep run where after like 6-7 encounters, you had that super run where I made it all the way from the entrance to the waterfall and almost a little bit back out before I took another encounter, which was great information to have for the encounter table. And that's where the Masa was. I'm pretty sure the Katana was there as well, or a ribbon. It was really lucrative, although lacking in shards.
It was Masa and Katana and water.
There we go. Yep, yeah. There we go.
And you guys had the floater a good 15 minutes before Team Copium because of that Galaxy Brain play to go back to Temple of Fiends. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, let's talk about that play.
Channing, take this one.
Pretty much every time we had an item, like whatever it's the slab or crystal or something, it always leads to the floater or something that's needed. Mm-hmm. So I just got key. I'm like, yeah, something's gonna be behind key locked somewhere. So the only place we have is Temple of Fiend. I'm like, I'm checking Temple of Fiend. I'm not taking any chances. It's 4 quick. It's 3 chests, real quick. If there's nothing, there's nothing. Could be a shard too, so we need those. And luckily, floater was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was our last loose, if I remember correctly.
I think it was, yeah. And then we made a bit of a cross-up mistake mixing up our flags, thinking, oh, well, sweet, we don't need canoe. Let's just go and get the dock over there, and realizing that was SGL flags and having to reset back. But, it's okay.
So you have knocked out some pretty tough teams, gentlemen. Copium is pretty tough. Team Oof was not an easy run either, and neither was Bicky's Meatball Factory.
Yeah,
no, for real. Everyone that we faced were really, really good. Still happy that we're undefeated.
Yes,
we won every matches at the moment, so let's hope that continues for finals.
Yeah. Feels really good. Chanigan and I, we play together very well. We do fall together, and we're doing it together this year. So we have pretty similar styles in our approach, and we pretty much communicate very well because we've been doing this for almost a year now. So shout out to my partner Chanigan this tournament here. He's been great, and looking forward to match up with either Crescent Lake rematch last year or the other guys. I forget who they are. Oh, the Simps. That's it.
The Simps.
The Simps. How can I forget? I'm sorry. my mind is excited.
Now, Team Copium, Burt Reynolds and Woo Bear, they are not anybody to trifle with. They are both excellent runners. Woo Bear is the most recent Duckling Supreme. Burt Reynolds has been around and has won many a title. So this was one heck of a matchup, and Burt took Woo Bear under his wing, and look how far that they both came. They did an excellent job, and they were definitely worthy opponents for this. Yeah. And it came down to the floater this time. It really did.
Yeah, we were talking
for real. Oh, go for it, Luffy.
I was just gonna say, you've said many times how they were a team that scared us, Team Copium. Bert's a really good runner, been around for a long time. Woo Bear is, Duckling Supreme and no joke himself, really great in other runners and stuff in other games. So they were a team that we took very seriously, and we just try to do that for all our opponents, and we'll do the same thing for whoever we face next.
Well,
and that
congratulations again.
That Crescent Lake Party Planners versus Simps Sun Game 3 is set for tomorrow night. I don't remember exactly when, but I know they've set it for tomorrow night. 9
o'clock. Chanigan and I are going to be doing commentary for that one.
Yep.
We're going to be front and center. We want to see who we're facing.
There you go. And then what is your availability? Have you guys figured out when you guys might tentatively be able to race again?
We'll see. We'll see depending on who we're going to face. We'll see. We'll see next week. Well, not next week, this week.
Yeah, we're pretty flexible with our times for the most part. The only thing I got coming on is I'm going to see Rammstein on Wednesday, so Wednesday night's out for me. But other than that, anytime we race, we can do that.
If you guys had lost this race, you guys had scheduled to do another race right after this. So I'm going to assume that there's some bit of relief that you guys aren't racing again in just a few minutes.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Oh, yeah. No, we really wanted this win, just so we don't have to go to bed at like 1 a.m. And with, I think, Luffy, you're working at 5 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah.
I was up at 3:30 in the morning Eastern today, so for work, and then I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. Chanigan's on vacation, but he got sunburned pretty good. We were talking about it this morning. Like, we just let's just do game 2, see what happens, and hope we don't have to go to game 3. It worked out this time, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, congratulations again. You beat a very formidable opponent in Team Copium, Burt Reynolds and Woo Bear.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. GG to both of them. Really, really great runners. Tough one, for real. But yeah,
they took out a couple of pretty good teams to get to you as well. They took out Name Pending in the first round and Twilight over Melmond in the second round. Twilight over Melmond's a scary team too.
Oh yeah. No, everyone in this tournament is pretty scary. Any team could have won or lost their matchup.
Well, I think that just about wraps it up.
That about wraps it up on this race. Once again, if you've enjoyed this race, you should give our runners a follow. If you like the idea of Final Fantasy Randomizer, you should find our Discord. You should join our Discord. And
head on over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. All kinds of fun information there. The randomizer itself, information on how to get to our Discord server. You can become a Duckling, which is our training wheels program where you can learn how to run this. You can run the randomizer. You can do all kinds of fun stuff.
So for our Restreamer Dark Moon and our Tracker Softenum, for all the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, I have been DM Stewart 1981. Alongside me, Rich Bork in the commentary room. We have been Team No Bane, No Gain. Thank you very much, and we'll see y'all around the randomizer.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.